What is up, everyone? DPX here. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, DPX Talks, for about an hour. Today is April 16th, 2020. Hope you're all doing well at home, as you probably are. Today, I got a guest on. It's SquidWario. What up, SquidWario?
What up, DPX? Thanks for having me.
Anytime. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Let's start off with some smaller things, of course. Let's get right into this. Some of the smaller things I want to talk about. Let's see. What do I have on here? Well, I'll just ask you, SquidWario, how have you been doing recently?
I can't complain. It sucks to be in this pandemic right now, but at least we're technically almost done. We have at least a month or so.
Yeah. Um, I guess speaking of the pandemic, let's talk about some updates. It's quite a lot to talk about since the last time I did an episode. Well,
Yeah.
last time I did an episode was like a few weeks ago when I recapped WrestleMania, but that doesn't necessarily count with news. But we got a bunch of more movies were delayed, of course. Sony, they pushed their summer slate to like March of 2021. Ghostbusters and not Venom. Venom's still coming out when it's supposed to, which is strange. But Ghostbusters and Morbius were pushed, and Minions 2 was pushed like an entire year.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, which isn't Sony, but got the
That's Universal.
Yeah, we got the MCU Phase 4 completely changing, but we'll get more into that later. Wonder Woman 84 was pushed just to August, though. And Warner Brothers also pushed Scoob to an unspecified release date. And the new James Wan movie, which is like a horror movie, I forgot what it was called, but it got pushed. But that's because Wonder Woman's taking its place, though. So, the new SpongeBob movie was delayed only to July, and the new Top Gun movie has been delayed to, I believe, December. As well as Pixar's Soul has been delayed to November, and their Disney's November movie, or originally intended to be their November movie, Raya the Last Dragon, was delayed to March of 2021. So yeah, that's quite a lot of news. I feel like I feel like there's more to it. Oh yeah, Artemis Fowl, which was seems like sort of Disney's take on Harry Potter. It seems is keeping its original release date, but it's launching on Disney Plus because that was like projected, I guess, to be a failure.
Yeah, I think Onward is on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, that one actually, I feel bad for that movie because that one actually like came out in the theaters and then shortly after the theaters closed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Uh, the virus hasn't really been delaying too many games, but it has gotten. It did delay a huge game in The Last of Us Part 2, which was going to come out in May. Like, it was pretty soon, actually. They delayed it because they just need to, like, touch up on some more things, and they can't do that because the stay-at-home orders. And they've also delayed the Iron Man VR game, which I forgot was, like, a thing that was happening. So, I don't really care about that, but, yeah, anything you want to say about all this, SquidWario?
Well, one thing definitely that's canceled with gaming, which was a month ago, is that everyone is so upset and pissed about.
Your audio just cut out.
Oh, well, what I don't know. caught up yet again, but what I did say was the East. Everyone knows that that got canceled a month ago, and everyone is very upset about it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I touched on that, and it does kind of suck that E3 was canceled, but it wasn't completely canceled because Nintendo's still doing an online thing, Microsoft's going to do an online thing, Ubisoft's going to do an online
Right.
thing. Not quite sure about everyone else, but yeah. So that's that. Um, again, if there's by next episode, if this is still going on, there are still delays. I'll let you guys know. Well, one interesting movie that has yet to be delayed here was Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie, which that's like I think maybe it's going to come out in July, or at least originally intended to be in July, which I'm not sure if that will really happen. But movie theaters should probably be open by July. But it's more the fact that like they need to run up a marketing campaign for it, so I'm not quite sure if if that is going to happen in July. What do you think, SquidWario?
Well, I hope so. Everyone's hoping that the pandemic will be over by next, but knowing this world, who knows? But I hope by the time it is summer, that the pandemic is definitely over and everything is back to normal. Hope.
Yeah. All right. So that was pretty much it for the COVID-19 updates. There's something that has to do with it that we'll talk about later on. But next up, this isn't really like a current event or anything, but SquidWario, you're a fan of SpongeBob.
Yeah, a big fan.
Yeah, I mean it's not like part of your YouTube name is like part of a SpongeBob character.
Yeah, I mean, half of me is Squidward.
Yeah. Um. So I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite SpongeBob episode ever, and why?
Favorite episode ever? Well, considering there's like numerous episodes now since the show started back in 1990, they still make new episodes. But I'd say one of my favorite episodes is one of them is hold on, just give me so many episodes. I think Chocolate with Nuts was a good episode. I thought it was hilarious how SpongeBob and Patrick attempted to sell chocolates, and then we have like the guy that screams chocolate, and they think that they're trying to go after the two, and it turns out he wanted to buy all their chocolate.
Okay, it's been a while since I've watched SpongeBob, so I can't say I remember that one. Maybe I've seen it. I'm not sure. Is that like an older episode or like a more newer episode?
That's one of like the older episodes
So
from one of the older seasons.
Probably have seen it. I think my favorite might be the Krusty Krab pizza.
Yeah, that's a good episode too. Honestly, any of the older episodes from the older seasons are better. Like SpongeBob, I think went up a level of insanity.
Yeah, it sort of started to lose its touch at one point. I hear it's better now, but like whenever I want to watch SpongeBob, which isn't too common, but whenever I feel like yeah, let's put on a SpongeBob episode because why not? It'll normally be one of the older episodes. Yeah, I like Krusty Krab pizza. And I also like What's It to Ya. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like how in Krusty Krab pizza where like there's a giant tornado and uh, Squidward's like, oh, we gotta like not do this, and then SpongeBob's like, we need to deliver the pizza though. Squidward goes, who cares about the pizza? SpongeBob's like, I do. And Squidward goes, but I don't. And then the whole tornado stops. And SpongeBob goes, Squidward. And then the tornado starts back up again. That always got me. So
Yeah, that's cartoon logic right there. And hey, who could say no to the trademark Krusty Krab pizza song?
your audio cut out after you said Krusty Krab pizza.
But yeah, of course, everyone will recognize the Krusty Krab pizza song in the episode for sure. There's so many memes about it.
I love that episode. So, moving on. Let's see. I'm sure you know the YouTuber iDubbbz. Everyone does.
Yeah.
And he's been in some controversy recently for letting his girlfriend open up an OnlyFans account, which, if you're not sure, is basically a website where you make an account and you charge fans to basically look at your nudes. So, and iDubbbz has been like under fire for that, for letting his girlfriend do that, being okay with it. But like, I think this whole thing is fucking stupid because he's okay with it, she's okay with it. What's the problem here? There's no like disagreement.
Like that's the problem with society. Like everyone has their own point of view of everything, and then there we go. This is why like we have too many problems today on the media.
Yeah, I mean like maybe I understand like if he didn't give her the okay to do that, then I understand that maybe, but then like you see he did. Like he's okay with it. I see people like online saying like iDubbbz how to like end your career. He didn't end his career. The the irony here is that he's known for ending other people's careers. People that deserve it, but like and everyone's saying, "Oh, his career's ended for what? For letting his girlfriend make an OnlyFans? Come on, come on." He didn't
like really. Like that's not fair.
Like there's a mutual agreement there that people seem to be ignoring, or I think people are mad at him because he let her do it, but like he. When I've seen the two like in a video, they seem to love each other very much. So it doesn't create any problems between the two of them. So like people just gotta fuck off. Anything you want to add, SquidWario?
I mean, I agree with you there. Like, there's enough stupid people that like do all this crazy shit, and like, you think that, and they think this is normal. And the truth is, just because like the media shows something doesn't mean it's a right. You know?
Yeah. All right. So moving by these pretty quickly. So next up is looking at some stuff we can talk about quickly. You know about the movie Dune, right? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I've heard about.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I know it's a movie that's coming out. I'm not quite familiar with the source material. It was originally a book. Never read the books. The first photos have been released, and I'm not gonna lie, they look really good. Um, I'm searching them up on my phone right now because I can't really move anything on the computer. But Dune photos.
Yeah.
They look pretty solid. Not quite sure what the movie's gonna be about.
Yeah.
Like at all. Doesn't help, but
I'm not sure, but they're saying like everyone seems to be happy with who's casted in the movie. Like according to some people, I'm quoting that they think the cast is like that's how excited everyone is.
yeah, it does have a good cast. I mean, you got Oscar Isaac in there, you got Zendaya in there. Let's see, Dune cast. Rebecca Ferguson, who's really good. Jason Momoa's in there.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin. It does have a really big cast. And I'm not from by looking at these photos, I'm just not quite sure what to make of them. I'm not sure like what this what this movie will be, especially after not really or no, not at all reading the books, not being familiar with them at all. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of these. I mean, they look awesome, but I'm not quite sure what the movie's going to be. Anything you'd like to add there, SquidWario?
Uh, we're back. So what I was about to say is, so really, I am not 100% sure what the film's going to be, but I can tell it's probably going to be like one of the best movies that are upcoming.
Yeah. This as to be honest, with all the movies getting delayed, I think this one is probably the most safe because it's not coming out till December. And December
Yeah.
should be fine. Should be fine by then.
Yeah, the virus is definitely going to be over by then.
Yeah. So yeah, these look really good. Yeah. Uh, I think that would be all the smaller topics. Moving on to some of the bigger topics, we got this one that is kind of old news, but is it's still pretty big news. The there's just like a leak or a rumor. That's all just a leak or rumor, but it's a pretty big one. Apparently, we're gonna see a bunch of Mario remasters this year. I believe this year, which is
Yeah.
crazy. I'm not. I didn't do, or I'm not. I don't know a whole lot about this one. I know that they're apparently remastering a bunch of 3D Mario's. Anything you'd like to say about that?
So I think they're basically remastering just about every game except for 64DS and obviously not
Odyssey.
Like obviously Super Mario Odyssey is not going to be part of this remaster since that is a Nintendo Switch original.
Yeah. Your audio keeps cutting out, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but I'm sure they understood what you were just trying to say. But
yeah,
because I did. But yeah. So I'm pretty sure we're getting Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and a port of 3D World, which is one of the few Mario games that have not come to the Switch yet, which is pretty strange. But then again, it has a lot of. Sorry if you can hear the noise in the background, by the way, but it's got a lot of features that were designed for the Wii U. So that'll be interesting to see how it'll work for the Switch. But Mario Maker had that too, and they nailed Mario Maker too. So yeah, this is this is crazy. Actually, it's like all these 3D Mario games people have wanted, returns to for some time now, and it's pretty crazy that we're getting, or we could be getting these remakes. What are your thoughts, SquidWario?
And if this is true, I think I'm hyped for this type of game. Like Super Mario 64 is one of the most iconic Mario games, and it's still popular to this day. So I'm sure a lot of gamers would be very excited to see it be remade on the Switch.
Yeah. Uh, I wouldn't really say Super Mario 64 ever really got like an actual remake. Like it got Super Mario 64 DS, which I guess is a remake. Yeah, that felt a little clunky though. Cause like you used the D pad to control, which never felt right. And but like this is like the first time we'll see Super Mario 64 like in HD, which is awesome. Sunshine is a game that would benefit from a remake. People hate that game. I really like Sunshine. It's got it's got some nice mechanics in it, and it probably should have actually gotten a sequel, but it's good that we're getting a remaster. Hopefully, the Galaxy games, honestly, those are near perfect. So honestly, you should just remaster it. Don't like remake it because they're near perfect. 3D World, we already said something about that, but anything you want to say about Sunshine? You said you commented on 64, but not any of the others.
Well, with Super Mario Sunshine, like, of course, a lot of gamers for some reason don't like the game as much, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see it be remade on the Switch, and maybe like they can add a little more to the plot twist on the Switch version.
Yeah. Probably, honestly, if there's one thing you should fix with that game, in my opinion, it's probably the voice acting. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
you have Bowser and Bowser Jr. like talking like humans, which I mean, the plot like this might be like the most plot driven Mario game ever, but
yeah. I mean,
I
but
don't,
yeah, like Bowser literally, like I almost want to say Bowser literally sounds like Vector from the Sonic franchise. Like, that doesn't really too much sound like the Bowser we know of.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's how if I were to guess how Bowser would talk, like if he were to talk like a human, that would probably be it. But I don't know what that was. What do you
But
think
yeah,
about the Galaxy games?
the Galaxy, I would look forward to them remade on Switch, but the Mario Galaxy
Okay,
is the
yeah,
multiplayer. Like,
I'm
there's
sorry,
really
but your audio cut out again. Can you repeat that?
ah. All right. Well, I am looking forward to seeing Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 hopefully getting remade. But the multiplayer, I think maybe they should do differently and like maybe make it like a 4-player multiplayer instead of just
2 player, yeah. That would be awesome. Cause the Switch would be good for that. Again, uh, Galaxy 1 is near perfect. Galaxy 2, I think, is perfect. So there's not really much you can do with a remake. A remake would be like you change up the game. A remaster would be you just make it look nicer. So maybe with the first
right.
Galaxy game should like add more stuff. Though that's near perfect. Second Galaxy game I think is perfect. Um, the the best you should do is just up the graphics with that one. But even then, like the original graphics look nice. So maybe it's just gonna be a port. Who knows? But anything else you'd like
Yeah.
to add?
I mean, like now of course I don't think this game is even definite yet. Like these are just leaks right now.
Yeah,
But considering that by the end of 2020, it's going to be the 35th anniversary of Mario, well, Super Mario Brothers specifically, I figured this would definitely be like a cool thing Nintendo were to make for sure.
yeah. It won't be the 30th. Wait, 30th or 35th?
35th.
Oh, it won't be the 35th of Mario himself, but like of Super Mario, and all these
Yeah,
have Super in the title. So wait,
exactly.
I'm not sure if this was the leak. If this is what it said, but what if it's like a remastered collection? Like, what if it's all these in one collection? That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd still be cool.
Yeah. Um, I think that's all on that. Um, another thing we gotta talk about. Speaking of remakes and remasters, going out of order on the list. You guys listening or watching, you have no idea what I mean by the list, but SquidWario does. But um,
Yeah, don't worry.
Resident Evil 4 has been leaked and rumored, I guess, to have a remake in the year 2022, which is a long way off. And but I guess this kind of makes sense because I say kind of because let me I'll explain. But a long time ago, like on the GameCube, we got a remake of the first Resident Evil, which was awesome. And last year we got a remake of the second one, which was also awesome. And then this year we got a remake of the third one, which I haven't played, but I heard wasn't as awesome. But I hear it's not the worst thing in the world. Um, so now, just keeping it going, we're apparently going to get a remake of the fourth one, which, I mean, here's the thing. The first three, like, in terms of, like, the way they played and the way they looked gameplay-wise, they haven't aged well. And then Resident Evil 4 came out, and it was, like, a huge step up. So, like, these remakes of 1, 2, and 3 are kind of meant to be more like Resident Evil 4. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with a remake of 4. But, and Resident Evil 4, Galaxy 2, Resident Evil 4 I think is like a near perfect game. So I'm not quite sure what they can really do with that. But I'm sure like they can pull it off. Like 3 could have been like a fluke, but because 1 and 2 remakes were awesome, and Resident Evil 7 is also a great game. There are also rumors about an eighth one, which is inevitable because there's like a survey. Whoops, there's like a survey for when you played the third one, which recently came out, asking would you like to see a Resident Evil or a Resident Evil sequel, or which is pretty much Resident Evil 8, and then another question was, would you like to see another remake of another Resident Evil game? And a lot of people said yes to both of those. So, um, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 8 was like an inevitability. Like you got to make that at some point. Resident Evil is doing really well at the moment, but Resident Evil 4 remake has me scratching my head a little bit. But I'm sure it can be good. SquidWario, you hear this? Hopefully, I'm not cutting out for you, so you can hear me saying this. But you hear all this. Resident Evil 4, I think it's a like near perfect game, and I think the other remakes are made to play more like it. Um, what are your thoughts on all this? Do you think it'll work?
I think it would work. I think it's good that Capcom is deciding to literally revive the original, so new gamers and fans towards the franchise get to play. So I think really like I think it's good that Resident Evil 4 is definitely getting remade. So like the legacy can keep going.
Yeah. Especially since people today need a better way to play Resident Evil 4, because the most recent version of it, I believe, was the Switch version, which, nope, that was bad. But yeah, it would look great in HD though, because the game was on the GameCube, obviously, so
Yeah.
it wasn't in HD. I'm interested to see how the game would look in HD. And we're starting to get some really good remakes. Like last year, we got the Resident Evil 2 remake, of course. Very recently, we got the Final Fantasy 7 remake, which I've reviewed.
Yeah.
You can go check it out. And I plan on making a spoiler video on that, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. But you know, you can get all these really good remakes. They're all different enough to I feel qualify as their own games. So this could be very interesting to see Resident Evil 4, a game that doesn't really need a remake, get remade. So, any final thoughts, SquidWario?
I kind of agree with you there. Like, because obviously, when there was the GameCube, obviously quality wasn't that great back then. But with gaming now, look how amazing quality has changed. Yeah, exactly. Like the quality and graphics have definitely changed over the years. So it would be about time to see something like.
Yeah. You cut out after you said something like, but I'm sure you were trying to say something.
I said, yeah, it's about time to see something like that, meaning like better graphic quality.
Yeah. better graphic quality or just better graphics. So yeah, that's that. Okay, as we were talking about COVID-19 updates earlier, one thing it did that I talked about last month on the podcast was it delayed Black Widow, which I was excited to see. Just by the trailers, it looked awesome. Despite Black Widow already, being dead and this not really having much stakes in it. But I always get excited for the May Marvel movies, especially because it's always like 2 or 3 days shy from my birthday every year. So this is like the first time that's not happening. So I was especially upset when I found out that this was delayed. But when it got delayed, I kind of wondered, what does this do for the rest of the MCU Phase 4? Because they had the Eternals come out or planned for November, and they had like Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange, which is something we can talk about that a little bit later. The Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and Thor 4 all come out next year. But what this actually pushed back, like it changed the entire Phase 4. Black Widow's coming out in November, which that's going to be a packed month because we got Godzilla, James Bond, Soul, and now Black Widow.
Yeah, well, because of the virus, with all the movies from that we're supposed to release now are now all pushed there. So November is going to be a very busy month at the theater.
That's like it already seemed busy with Godzilla and James Bond. Now throwing Black Widow and Soul, that's gonna be tough. I'm gonna see myself at the movie theaters 4 times that month. Shit, where was I? And Eternals, I believe, was delayed to like February. Well, I don't have to look this up actually. Each movie was pushed back to take the spot of the other movies. So like, Eternals was delayed to take, I believe, I don't remember if it was Doctor Strange's place or if it was Shang-Chi's place. And then whichever one was replaced there replaces the next one, which was Doctor Strange or Shang-Chi. And then whichever one there replaces Thor, which was going to be like towards the end of 2021, which is now going to be like towards the start of 2022, which I believe will also cut into Phase 5. But that's pretty interesting. This is a very strange thing to happen, especially since they had like this entire phase and now they had to delay it. So what are your thoughts on all this, SquidWario?
So as I said, I think it's insane how November is basically going to be a crazy month with movies since everything's been being pushed. But other than that, it's still something to look forward to, and at least it'll have like a lot of excitement to fans. They have a lot of movies to look forward to, and a lot is going to be happening for them.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the MCU Phase 4 being changed, though?
Well, on that, I would say, I mean, I'm all right with it. Like, I mean, it's cool that they're still keeping with the movies this year, at least, and some were still pushed to the next couple years. But other than that, I really can't complain too much about like the changing of the scheduling and stuff.
At least they're still happening. They're still at least it's still gonna like come out.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard they had to actually halt production on Shang-Chi because the director wanted to get a corona test, in which he does not have it, from what I heard, so that's good. But they still had to halt production because that's interesting. One thing I didn't actually say, one thing I didn't tell you we are going to talk about because it still has to do with this, so it's not another topic. But
All right.
Disney also kind of changed like the release dates of like most of their movies as well. Like Mulan, which I talked about getting delayed last month, has a new release date of like July 24th or something. It's almost like delayed an entire, basically July on the same day as its original release date, and they're which took the place of the Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock and Emily Blunt, and that I believe is coming out sometime next year. Soul I already said was delayed to fucking November, like because everything is and which pushed Raya the Last Dragon to March. So, a bunch of crazy stuff is happening over at Disney. Especially, they got Bob Iger come back to try to sort shit out here. Um, not much to say about that one. So, any final thoughts, SquidWario?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this is going with every movie company. Everything is changing like crazy with dates and stuff. But honestly, I figured like Disney could acknowledge Disney Plus. I figured this is actually like a smart thing that they have Disney Plus, because now they can like make more content when it comes to films and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're putting Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus, and they should put New Mutants on either Disney Plus or Hulu, because that just give that movie a break. It's been delayed so many times. It was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Yeah, just put it on Disney Plus already, because
Or Hulu, because I don't
like
think
everyone's getting annoyed.
I'm not sure it'll fit on Disney Plus, but release it on streaming. Like that's like the
Yeah,
that's like the one movie where everyone was saying like just release it on Hulu. Like even before, like when it got delayed and delayed and delayed, and it finally got the theatrical release date. I almost said theatrical release date or some shit, but it finally got a theatrical release date, and then it got pushed again. So just put it on either Hulu or Disney. Like just give it a break. I feel so bad for that movie. So any final thoughts?
Other than what I just, not really. Any other final thoughts on it?
All right. Well, while keeping on the subject of the MCU, there is a small update I want to make. This is probably not going to be like a huge topic. I didn't write this down either, but a few months ago, it was rumored that Christian Bale was in talks to play a some character in Thor: Love and Thunder, and lots of speculation over who he was going to be began, and I made a topic. I made that a topic on in the podcast a few months ago, and I'm not quite sure how long ago this was confirmed. This might be old news, which is why we're not really going to talk about that much. But turns out he is playing the villain. Who is the villain? Christian Bale.
Yeah.
The character I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Any quick thoughts on that, SquidWario?
I mean, again with the movie, like I think it's pretty cool how they're starting to like get that movie ready, even though it's gonna be pushed just like every other movie.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Christian Bale being the villain in it? If you don't know, Christian Bale was like the Dark Knight.
Oh, I mean, I think that's cool how he gets to play that role.
Yeah, he's a big actor.
I'm happy for him.
All right, so yeah, there's not much else to say there. I'm sure a lot of you guys know. I'm not quite sure how new that news is, so that's all we're gonna say about that. But still, while keeping on the subject of the MCU, so when the news dropped about Christian Bale possibly being a character in Thor 4, like around the same exact time, Scott Derrickson left Doctor Strange 2, or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, over creative differences, which is always the reason for everything. But it was kind of like, you know, who's gonna replace him? I don't know. But um, then the next month, I talked about this on February's edition of the podcast. It was rumored that Sam Raimi was gonna take the director's seat for Doctor Strange 2. Fast forward now, and it's confirmed. Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange 2, which, like, I would have preferred Scott Derrickson to direct uh, Doctor Strange because he did a good job with the first one. But if there's anyone to replace Scott Derrickson, I'd say Sam Raimi is a good pick. And it's good that he's back with Marvel. So what are your thoughts on this, SquidWario?
Like, it's definitely good to have him back in the Marvel movies. Yeah, another movie of the Marvel universe that people will.
We'll see. Yeah. Sam Raimi, he directed the first Spider-Man really well. He directed the second Spider-Man really well. Third one was not good, but like a lot of the problems in that movie weren't really his fault. There's a bunch of like stories about that, about how he wanted one vision, or he had one vision, and Sony want like Venom in Spider-Man 3. That was Sam Raimi didn't want that. He wanted to like tell the story about Peter and Harry Osborn, but uh, Sony was like, nah, you got to include Venom and Sandman and all this stupid shit. So yeah, but it's good to see he's back with Marvel and in the MCU, which is probably the biggest franchise uh, in movies right now. Um, so that's pretty good. And Sam Raimi, he's a good director. So this is
Yeah,
good. And he is like last time I talked about this. It's like he he might he's very likely going to direct it. Right now, I'm saying like he is going to direct it. So that's awesome. I don't get the fan theories about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man coming back for this because it involves multiverses and Sam Raimi is the director. I don't see how that makes any sense. I can't remember the last time Tobey Maguire was in a movie. I think his last movie might have been fucking Boss Baby. So I'm not quite sure. I get it's just a fan theory, but like people are starting to take that seriously, and I don't get it. But any final thoughts, Super Mario?
well,
Kind of just went on a
I
tangent
mean,
about uh, a fan theory, but any final thoughts?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with your thoughts there. Um, but yeah, like everyone, I think is having all these fan theories, and pretty much, I don't know really what else to say on that. But but yeah, there's all these fan theories and stuff, and yeah, that's about it with what I can.
What you can say. All right. Um. So now we're getting into some. I just realized there's not a whole lot of video game news here, but I got a lot of movie news. AMC been making some headlines recently. The biggest movie theater chain in the world. Recently like filed for bankruptcy, I believe, which um doesn't sound good at all. But people think that bankruptcy is sort of like a death sentence. Like you file for bankruptcy and you're fucking dead. That's not the case because bankruptcy is sort of like a protection. Um, I see. I'm kind of confused with this one because I did all the research and stuff, and it seemed that AMC is filing for bankruptcy. But then some dude from AMC or whatever said like, no, they're not. That's all a bunch of rumors. We're just trying to figure shit out. So I don't really know what's going on, but it kind of if they are filing for bankruptcy, it kind of does suck because I mean, yeah, obviously from a consumer's perspective, it sucks that you can't go to the movies, but like even on their perspective, like what happened was, they did like the AMC Stubbs A-list thing. They did all this stuff. They spent all this money strategically. Like, they purposely put themselves in debt to do all this stuff to make themselves like number one. And it was a smart move. Like, when you hear purposely put yourselves in debt, that sounds like financial suicide. But it trust me, like the way they did it, like it was smart the way they did it. And now they're gonna like fucking die for it, which sucks. Hopefully not. Hopefully they're
Yeah.
still around. But I don't know, you hear all this, SquidWario. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like the way people seem, and another problem with the damn media is that whenever something is mentioned, everyone makes it so much of a big deal where they're only making it sound worse than it really is. But
No,
but AMC
there
being
is
like
some
one,
truth to this though. Like AMC
yeah,
is going through
like
some financial troubles.
yeah, I see what's going on, especially that they're not doing much business because of the virus. But
Yeah, the shutdown.
But if they do go out of business, that would really upset me because then really, like, I know there are a few other movie theater chain places, but like AMC is one of the most iconic ones. Like
Yeah,
almost
I think they're the number
everyone I
one
know.
chain. No, I don't think. No, they are. Um, your
Yeah,
audio.
but
Oh, okay.
uh, all right, but yeah, AMC is very iconic. Not too sure if it's completely number one,
No, I believe
but
they
yeah,
are.
they are. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's still Fandango and there's still Regal. Uh,
yeah.
but like AMC, like most locations in the world, like it's an mostly AMC theaters. Um, like they're number one because the most people go there. So if that doesn't exist, a lot of people won't have a movie theater to go to. And
Right.
I love going to the theaters. As inconvenient as it may be, as expensive it may be, and as many annoying ass fucking people you may encounter who just don't care about the arts of a movie and decide to like
Yeah.
play on their phone the whole fucking time. Hate those people.
Yeah, and then
It's
like they scream their heads off too.
well, screaming their heads off. Like if you're talking about like just to be annoying, that that's the worst. But if you're talking about like as a reaction to the movie, like how everyone reacted when Captain America grabbed Mjolnir in the Endgame, that's different. But like, I'm always
Yeah,
for that.
that's
But
what I'm more like talking about, like them being annoying and like rude towards the other audience.
yeah, like that's an example. Something like Avengers Endgame. I don't like now. I don't have a problem watching it at home, but like watching it for the first time in the movie theater, like I went on Thursday night, which I have no clue how I was able to do that. I somehow managed to get some seats there Thursday night. That was a miracle. But the when Captain America held up Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, whatever, and the theater just erupted. That's the kind of experience you want in a movie theater, not at fucking home. Um, so yeah, I know Trolls World Tour just launched on VOD, which made an impressive amount of money for on VOD. I believe it was the number one biggest home video like release ever. I think it even beat out Endgame, which then again wasn't
Yeah,
that big, but still, it's still like, and this makes sense to be the biggest because this didn't release in the theaters. So, but a movie like that, a movie I generally have no interest in. I haven't even seen, nor do I want to see. But like something small like that. Like let's just say I am interested in Trolls. That's still not like I'm fine with watching that movie at home. Something like Endgame or let's say Tenet, the Christopher Nolan movie that has strangely yet to been delayed. Um, that's kind of a movie I want to watch in the theaters. So Yeah. Any final thoughts here?
So yeah, I mean, with your thoughts about Trolls, I agree with. Like when the first Trolls movie came out, my thought was literally that it's literally DreamWorks copying the Smurfs because it's like these little creatures that are happy and cheerful, just like the Smurfs. But when I saw that their sequel, World Tour, was going to be based off of music genres and stuff, I kind of had a little interest in it compared to the prequel.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the movie theater going experience and how much it'll suck if AMC goes under? Which, from what it sounds, it doesn't sound like they're going under per se, but they are in some trouble. So
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, just because they file for bankruptcy, that doesn't 100% mean anything. They're just at risk because they're not getting as many customers anymore because of the.
yeah, um, AMC does have their streaming service though, but that streaming. I'm not talking about like AMC shows like the network channel. Talking about like
Right.
they have like a streaming service where you can watch movies that finished its theatrical window and are now on their streaming service. That I've not heard a single person talk about that, so that should tell you how well that
Yeah.
thing is doing. But
Yeah, once again, like the damn media makes everything sound worse when you realize there's other things that are not as bad. Like, technically, maybe they could be making more business with the streaming app rather than the actual theater.
well, no, the theaters like make a lot of money, but yeah. So I think that is that with that one. Um, so next up, going for a Discord topic. Um, every episode, every like normal episode where I talk about current events in the world of movies, games, TV, YouTube drama, sometimes wrestling, a bunch of stuff. You guys know. I pose a question on Discord. If you want to be a part of it, you can join below. This is both in the description of the audio version and the YouTube version. Um, so I always put a poll of which topic you'd like me to discuss, and or me and who else I'm with, in this case SquidWario. Um, and this time I said A or one subject 1. What's the future of the Mario Kart franchise? Subject 2. What games would make good Netflix shows? And subject 3. Is the streaming wars very necessary, or is it just a bunch of fucking streaming services that don't matter at all? Uh, Number 2 one, which is what video games would make good Netflix shows. So, anything you, I'll let you go first, SquidWario. Anything you could see as a good Netflix show? I mean, we got
Well, honestly,
Castlevania, which is good, and The Witcher,
yeah,
which is originally a book, but also got popular through
yeah.
a video game. Made a good Netflix show. So, oh, you go first.
I was thinking like maybe like a new spin-off series towards Legend of Zelda. Like there was really only one show of the Legend of Zelda,
God, that was so
and look
bad.
at all these other video games getting tons of shows.
Yeah, that I think there actually was going to be either a Netflix show or a Netflix movie, based on the Legend of Zelda. Like I don't quite remember how long ago, but it wasn't any time recently. But that got
Yeah,
canned. Got canned. Um, let's see.
but
You go.
yeah, but I mean, I know there's one cartoon show of Legend of Zelda from like the '80s, but thinking
That
now
was
that
so
it's
bad.
2020, yeah,
Talking
thinking
about
now that
Excuse
it's
Me,
2020,
Princess. That one.
yeah, that one.
Oh, that was
Yeah, the one
terrible.
that everyone means, excuse me, princess. But yeah, but considering now that it's 2020, I think it's about time that Legend of Zelda like a new TV show, whether it's live action or like an animation.
I think of
Considering how popular they still are.
trying to think of how a live action Zelda would work. Like, who would play Link? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
with The Witcher, they got Henry Cavill, who I mean, I wouldn't say The Witcher is a 10 out of 10 show. Henry Cavill as Geralt, 11 out of 10 casting. He was awesome as Geralt. But like they gotta find some. I don't know who can play Link if that, but yeah, that would be interesting to see Zelda come to Netflix. I'm a few shows or a few games that come to mind that I'd say, that could actually work on Netflix. I was thinking Dark Souls, but uh, in a way, I'm not quite sure if that would really work because they don't. It's not like they don't really have too many characters. I mean, like no, they got characters, but they don't have much characteristics to them. Like the
hmm
main character is sort of like he's kind of like a nameless protagonist, doesn't really speak at all. So and characters, main characters that don't speak can be good, um, if done right. But I don't. I would be interested in the Dark Souls series. Trying to think. Anything else you can think of while I think?
Well, I mean, recently I heard that there's a brand new DVD video that Warner Brothers Animation released of Mortal Kombat: Scorpion's Revenge.
I heard about that. I didn't watch it yet, but I don't really have a way to watch it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I heard about
but
that.
it's one of the new DVD films. Like Warner Brothers Animations makes these instant DVD movies like every
Yeah.
year.
Um. Yeah, it's usually like a superhero. It's usually like a Batman or a Superman movie. This year they did a Mortal Kombat movie, which is very
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, one thing I also noticed with Warner Brothers Animation is also making like a Scooby Doo and Tom and Jerry spin-off film every year for DVD.
Funny you say that because there's Scoob is coming out this year, or it should be coming out this year. I'm not quite sure if it is, and
Yeah,
they scheduled a Tom and Jerry movie for this year as well.
yeah,
Like
I actually heard
theatrical.
about that. Like, yeah, like the beginning of 2020, back in like January, I heard they'd be making a Tom and Jerry movie.
Yeah, but let's stay on the subject of video game Netflix shows.
Yeah,
So yeah, the reason I ask this as well is like a bunch of video game shows are bad. Like you say, you bring up Mortal Kombat, like Scorpion's Revenge, which is a movie, not a show. But yeah, Mortal Kombat already had an animated series, Defenders of the Realm. That shit was fucking bad, and also had some other like live action Mortal Kombat series. Forgot the name of, but you see, the thing is that I don't really know about that show at all, so I'm not sure if that means it's underrated or it's not worth talking about. So I was thinking maybe you know what would be interesting as a
but
Netflix series, a Skyrim show, or not
yeah,
really.
that'd be.
I wouldn't say Skyrim because that's just one entry. Elder Scrolls because that's like the whole series, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean like Dark Souls, well, Dark Souls kind of has more established characters. Just they don't really have many characteristics. Skyrim doesn't really have many established characters, so that would be. I mean, maybe Dovahkiin, uh, or like a Dragonborn. Be I don't know, like honestly, or I know they made a movie about this a really long time ago that I remember seeing it in the theaters and don't remember a fucking thing from was Assassin's Creed. I think that would actually work as a Netflix series. Um,
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Like the movie, I think had a lot of good reviews. So they
no,
could
it was
make
bad.
it into like a, but but they could definitely make a spin-off like into a TV show. To be
Yeah,
honest,
that would work. I just thought of that now. Like, they made a movie about it, which had none of the characters from the game. I don't even like the games like at all that much, but like it seems interesting. A movie seemed interesting, so I went to go see it. It was fucking boring, but you know, Assassin's Creed's got like established characters. It's got like a world and stuff that would work great as a Netflix show. So yeah. Anything else you'd like to add? Any other things you can think
I
of?
mean, I was thinking, considering how like a couple years ago there became like a new Mega Man TV show called Mega Man Fully Charged.
Yeah.
It is inaccurate as hell. Like I mean, the design and like the graphics are nice, but like the accuracy towards the actual franchise is so inaccurate. So I figured if they were to like make a Mega Man TV spinoff like on Netflix, please make it like more accurate towards the actual franchise.
Yeah, the Mega Man, like I don't know what the fuck that design was. I heard that show actually wasn't the worst thing. I never watched it, which is strange because I really like Mega Man, but I don't know. There's just uh, yeah, there's um, I mean, not a Netflix show, but like The Last of Us, even that's gonna become an HBO series, which I'm I'm interested in that. Uncharted could actually work. I mean, they're making a movie. I actually didn't mention that earlier. That was gonna come out this year, and then it got pushed to next year. That happened a while ago, but because Sony moved all their shit, that's coming out towards the end of 2021, so it got pushed back again. But that would be an interesting Netflix series as well. So yeah, that's all I got for the Netflix series. Is anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, really, I mean, maybe another Netflix spin-off would maybe like something like Animal Crossing, because like New Horizons was just released, so like the franchise is getting crazy popular again. So maybe like one day they should make maybe like a cartoon series based off of Animal Crossing.
Maybe, yeah. I think they made like a movie. It was like in Japan, but yeah. So that's all for that. Oh, this one's also kind of old news, so we won't hang on this one too long. But this one, someone's in trouble for this, and it's a little or kind of a big actor known as Ezra Miller. A few weeks ago, there was a 5 second video of him choking a female fan. At least I think it was a fan. She seemed to be, fucking with him. The video is just him choking the girl, saying, "You want to fight? You want to fight?" And then like slowly putting her to the ground. And then the person recording it goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, bruh, bruh, bruh." The fucking video stops it. Okay, this looks fake as fuck. I gotta say, like, I I still think that, or I don't want to say that, but this just doesn't look real at all. But then a bunch of people started saying this. There's no way this is real. This is fake. Just no way. And then Variety, I believe, they came out and said, "Oh no, this shit is real." So Ezra Miller actually put his hand on a girl and tried to fight with her. Um, and now I'm sure Ezra Miller's in a lot of trouble. If I believe he's been taken from his role as the Flash and his role from Fantastic Beasts. Forgot who he played in that, but he's if it's either look they should absolutely like boot him from that, but I believe they've done that. So it's like, bro, what are you doing? So he's at a bar in Iceland, which that's another thing too. Fucking stay inside. What are you doing? And like you don't put your hands on a woman unless like they have unless they're marching at you with a gun, unless they're like an MMA fighter like Ronda Rousey or someone like that.
Yeah.
Don't fucking put your hands on a woman. And especially if you're a big name like Ezra Miller, who's been in this like uh Flash movie that has never come out. doesn't seem to ever come out. One of the reasons it's not come out yet was because of creative differences between the original director and Ezra Miller himself. So I think now that he's gone and they can replace him, I think they might actually be able to get this show on the road. This fucking movie that was supposed to come out like 3 years ago. So you see Ezra Miller attack this girl. I don't know if you watched the video or not. Basically, what I said was I described the whole video. Aside from the fact that the girl, when she was getting choked, she was fucking laughing, which makes it look even more fake. But no, it is apparently real. So, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely saw the video. And honestly, now, I don't know what else happened to the actor besides him.
Like, besides him, what?
But like a
Wait.
You're frozen.
I'm frozen?
Yeah, well, I can hear you, but oh wait, you're starting to move.
Okay, well, this is more like audio based, but
yeah,
you stopped or your audio cut out after you said like after he basically just repeat yourself.
All right. So honestly, so I did see the video, and like honestly, I honestly am not too sure of what to say. Like if it were a real situation,
No,
and like if
real.
it was really like, yeah, like I would say like if anyone were to have done something like that, like wouldn't that person get arrested?
Well, I mean, Ezra Miller could have gotten arrested, but this, I mean, it didn't seem like a whole lot. Like, it probably, I don't know. Like, he like assaulted this woman. So he could have gotten arrested. I'm not sure if he did. Anyone watching or listening, comment down below if he did. But I mean, then again, it looks so fake. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get arrested.
Yeah,
So,
like honestly, I can see anybody just being thrown in jail just for doing something stupid. Like,
well, I wouldn't say thrown in jail, but like people think getting arrested means like thrown in jail. Getting arrested really means getting in trouble with the cops. But
yeah,
so yeah, that's really all there is to this. Anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, really, like not much is said other than what we were just talking about. So I actually don't think I have anything to say for this topic.
All right. Well, there's actually one more thing about it. Like people are saying, like they have to establish that there's a new Flash now. No, they don't. They're changing Ben Affleck as Batman to Robert Pattinson. I doubt they're gonna like have a whole scene establishing that. So just make a new Flash. That's it. And as for his character in Fantastic Beasts, they recasted forgot the original guy's name, but they recasted him into Don Cheadle as Rhodey or War Machine and Iron Man, and you see Don Cheadle as Rhodey. He goes, "Yep, it's me, Rhodey. Deal with it." That's all. That's it. That's all they had to do, and he's now Rhodey. So that's all they have to do with this. Just replace Ezra Miller. Have like a little, sort of reference to the fact that is no longer Ezra Miller, and there, move on. So, just like that, we're going to move on to the next topic. Let's see, how many more do we have? Something to quickly talk about. The PS5, last month's episode, I briefly talked about their little presentation that they had, which turned out to be pretty much nothing, just the specs. So boring. So boring to the fact that I actually stopped watching. But this time, they released an image of the controller. And it's not called the DualShock, it's called the DualSense. So that is, and it is definitely a very different looking controller, at least when you compare to the PS1, 2, 3. The PS4 controller was a bit different, but even then it still resembled the previous ones. This one looks like completely different. So there's not a whole lot you can really say about this. Have you had a chance to see the controller?
Yeah, I mean, the controller looks nice. Like I know many people are predicting, like for America, it's gonna cost like 70 somewhat dollars. And
I wouldn't be
I've heard
surprised.
about all the rumors that it's supposed to have. Like hold on, I'm trying to see. Yeah, like I think it's supposed to, like honestly, like how I'm thinking of it, like maybe it's kind of like the Kinect from Xbox 360, where it's gonna sense like the gamers.
Maybe, but like no, this is like an actual controller though. So
Yeah, like now I don't know. Like more info is somewhat yet to come of what's confirmed about the control. So maybe it might have like a new feature where like it will shock all the PlayStation fans and it'll like add to like the PlayStation history.
all right. So moving on now from that. Google Stadia, I've talked about this a couple times on here. I mean, like, I talked about it when it was first, like, I talked about its first presentation, like, when that happened, pretty much. I talked about it when it was coming out, because it's just a mess. But now, Google, they seem to know it's a mess, though not want to say, yeah, this shit is fucking stupid that we have, but, because they're offering it for free.
Right.
So, but for 2 months, not like a full year or anything, just 2 months. Look, no one cares. Maybe if this was like a full year, maybe people would care, but somehow even then, I kind of doubt it. Feel like no one cares regardless about Stadia. Like it just failed so hard. There's so many problems with it. It's buggy. It's messy. It's just and it was overpriced. It's a streaming service where you buy the games within the service. Imagine you have Netflix and you want to watch fucking you want to watch like let's see what's on Netflix. You want the new show Tiger King. Let's say you want to watch Tiger King on Netflix. Imagine having to pay for a Netflix subscription, then having to buy Tiger King. That's fucking stupid. That's what Stadia did. Now it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
And whoops, kind of shook the computer a little bit there. My bad. And to that I say, look, Google, you're a good company and all, but when it comes to this, too little, too late. No one cares. So anything else you'd like to add with that, SquidWario?
I mean, honestly, and also like Stadia is brand new, so I don't know if they're trying to like try and get more gamers to buy their product, but yeah, like I think it's a little stupid how it's like 2 months free. Like as you said, if it were an entire year free, like everyone would definitely be going crazy about
Maybe
that. But
actually,
like
I'm
2 months,
not sure.
come on.
Also, there's in their little like press release or whatever when they announced that Stadia is free, they said because everyone's stuck at home, we're gonna offer Stadia 2 months free. Maybe it has somewhat to do with the fact that everyone's stuck at home, but let's be real. If you were really convinced that people cared about Stadia and wanted to buy it, you would offer it at a discounted price. The fact of the matter is, no one cares about Stadia, and I doubt anyone's gonna even get it for free. To be honest, I tried getting it for free, but I'm like, wait, no, I'm not doing this. So yeah, that's it for that. Um, we got, I believe, one more topic. Seems that there is only one more topic, and that is Oh boy, this is a big one, and it's still continuing. So I'm not quite sure. This can be like outdated by the time you listen to this, but Cooking Mama Cookstar. It seems like such a harmless, innocent game that has had quite the story. So much so I can't even like when I try to look at the story because I knew I was gonna have to talk about that on here. Like that, this is something I just cannot not talk about. Every time I try to like put the story together, my brain fucking hurts. So I'm gonna try to describe it and try to save my brain in the process. I'm not sure if I'll make it out alive. But so basically, the gist of it is Cooking Mama came out on the Switch, and then it didn't come out. As in, like, it dropped on the Nintendo eShop, and then soon after a few hours, it was pulled. With no mention from the studios, in which there's like three companies behind it. There's the like I believe one company gave the right to let another company work on it and publish it, but then like it wasn't Cooking Mama wasn't like authorized to be published at the exact moment it was. So it just started a whole conspiracy. Like, what happened here? Was it gonna like overheat your Switch? Is it gonna like fuck you in the ass? I don't know. That last one I made up, but that wasn't a thing at all. But it's strange though. I've never seen this really happen with any other game before. And by the way, the reviews are out. I've only seen one review by IGN, and they don't seem to like it at all. So they gave it like a 3 out of 10. So that's but that I've only seen that one review, so I'm not gonna say this game is bad, but it's like it wasn't supposed to be released. Like there's games that like aren't finished and shouldn't be released, and then there's games that aren't finished and weren't supposed to be released. This one wasn't supposed to be released. It's so weird. So SquidWario, you hear this, you hear how strange the release of Cooking Mama Cookstar was and how it came out and then it didn't come out. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Like honestly, like I bet every gamer was like I guess every gamer like that got the game. Like I don't know what happens now. Like if they already got the game on the Switch and now that it's gone, like I'm assuming the software doesn't work.
No. They still have it. They downloaded it and everything, but
Oh, all right.
but it was only up for a couple hours, so I don't know who's like whoever's the kind of people that just look through the Nintendo eShop and sees a new Cooking Mama game at a complete random without like any sort of announcement. And during all this shit, the company's website didn't have Cooking Mama listed, and but now it does. There's a bunch of shit to unpack here. It's so weird. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Squid Wario?
Well, yeah, like I think it's weird. Game is released and like a couple hours later it's gone.
Yeah.
It's just totally weird.
So, yeah, I believe. Let me just look through again. Let's see. Yeah, that seems to be it for all the topics. This was a while. Well, I don't have this on the list, but I wanted to get some people onto your channel, SquidWario. So maybe you can tell them what you got coming up on your channel, possibly, if anything.
All right. Well, let's see. So this past weekend, I ended up doing a drawing competition with my and really any other video. I mean, I do plan on making more reaction videos as time goes by, and actually on my Discord server, sometime during the summer, I would like to do a server live stream. So if anyone's interested in, please join.
All right, I'll have your Discord server in the link below, in the description below. Anyone interested, you can go and
All right.
join. So yeah, I think that'll wrap it up here.
Well, one more thing I should say about my content.
Go.
Yeah, well, one of the most important things that I want to advertise is also, since I'm reaching 200 subscribers, I'm also starting a Q&A, which is taking place in my Discord server as well.
Yeah. So yeah, if any of you are interested, go join his server, and there's a whole channel for that, right?
Yeah, I made like an exact channel for the server called the Q&A preparation.
All right. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for this episode. This was fun. Thanks for being on here, SquidWario.
Hey, thanks for asking me to join.
Anytime. Yeah, you interested in him? I have his channel down below. But any socials you want to plug?
For my stuff, I would just say my YouTube channel and just Discord server. That's about it.
Alright, which I'll have both in the description below, but, yeah, if you're listening to the audio version of this, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. It's DPX Solo. If you're listening to the, YouTube version of this, go to SoundCloud and follow me. Give me some, you know, momentum on here. Just search up DPX Talks for about an hour. Hopefully you'll find it. SoundCloud's pretty weird on the way you find stuff, but, that'll wrap it up. Hope you guys like this, you know, and I'll be back next month, or whenever there's something I want to make an episode about. See you guys.
Alright, bye.